Hi friends, welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Caitlin, and today we are continuing with our March into May sadness eyeshadow palette challenges, I guess, and we're using the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette versus the Natasha Denona Safari palette, and I am including an updated bracket of the palettes that have moved on so far and where we are at in I guess, what would we call this? Is this round 2, I think, of the challenge? So yeah, anyways, I guess we will go ahead and get started. So first we are starting with the Natasha Denona Safari palette, and I am taking my Sonia Kashuk small eyeshadow brush and the shade Amhara, and I'm just packing that all over the first third of my lid and my crease. And I'm just kind of lightly blending as I go. Next up, we are going in with the shade Masai, and I am using my Morphe M167 brush. Also, looking at this video right now, I think those brushes are actually flipped, but maybe not. Then I'm taking my BH Cosmetics number 10 from their neon collection. I don't know what it's called. With no pigment on it, just to blend those shades together and blend them out into the crease. And then going in with that same, I guess it's the Morphe M167 brush for the shade Masai, and packing that on more to build up the pigment and deepen the color. And then going back in with that BH Cosmetics brush to blend it out. This is definitely the Morphe M167 brush that I'm packing on the shade Masai with, so I don't know what brush I was using before. I didn't write it down, apparently. And then we are taking the BH Cosmetics number 8 brush from the Rose Gold collection in the shade Fata Morgana, and I am packing that onto the outer, little corner of my eye and then making a wing shape with it. And I'm also taking that into the crease as well. And then going back in with that BH Cosmetics number 10 brush with no color on it at all and just blending out the edges. Packing more color on. Blending again. This look is a lot of packing color, blending, packing color, blending, packing color, blending. This palette is very pigmented and the shadows are very creamy when you utilize them, but they just kind of blend away if you get a little carried away with your blending, which I tend to do. I think the shade that I had the most trouble with while doing this look was Masai. And I don't know if that was because it was the middle shade, but it was having a hard time blending into Fata Morgana, that blue shade on the end. And then it just kept having this like harsh line with Amhara as well that I was having a hard time getting rid of. And I think maybe I had used different brushes, but the brushes I mentioned, the Sonia Kashuk small eyeshadow brush for Amhara, the Morphe M167 for Masai, and then the BH Cosmetics number 8 Rose Gold brush, I think those were the ones that ended up working the best for the look, and that's why those were the ones I wrote down. And now I'm just blending everything out with my finger because I gave up on brushes. And I added a wing and then put the shade Aya on my brow bone. And then I'm going back in with that BH Cosmetics brush and the shade Fata Morgana. And then I'm taking Masai up higher as well. And then bringing Fata Morgana up higher to meet it. And then blending with that BH Cosmetics brushes again with no pigment. And now I am putting Masai on my same Morphe M167 brush and just blending that on my lower lash line. And then same thing, using the same brush with Fata Morgana. And then I also used that same Sonia Kashuk small eyeshadow brush with the shade Amhara in the inner corner. I did basically the same thing on the lower lash line that I did on my lid. And then I'm putting the shade Aya, using my ColourPop E20 brush. I'm putting that on the inner corner and the brow bone. And now we're moving on to Berries and Cream. So for Berries and Cream, I used the shade Cherry Juice on my Sigma E47 brush. And I just started to kind of sketch out a wing shape. I actually really like this brush for detail work like this, where I'm trying to pack on a darker color just to kind of sketch an outline of the eye shape I'm trying to do. And I'm just doing this, as slowly and being careful as I can. Don't want to go in too crazy and then have to fix something. It's a lot easier to just keep adding and building up color. And now I'm just tapping that onto the outer third of my eye as well. And then I'm blending that out with my ColourPop E17 brush. And I am using the shade Bittersweet. And I am now just using this ColourPop eyeshadow brush. There is no name or number to it. It's just a really basic brush I think I got for free from ColourPop, and I was just blending out with that. And now I am taking my Sigma E47 brush again and just building up the shade Cherry Juice, and then going back in with that ColourPop eyeshadow brush that has no name and just blending out. It's just a fluffy blending brush. Building up the color Cherry Juice again with that same Sigma brush, and then $10 as I go back in and blend out with that ColourPop eyeshadow brush again. Ooh, I win. I feel like a lot of looks are basically just building up the color, blending it out, building it up, blending it out. And now we're doing a cut crease, and I am using my Sigma E62 brush to do this cut crease. And I am using the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer as well. I'm just kind of sketching out the natural shape of my eye for my cut crease. And now I'm taking my ColourPop E3 brush with the shade Sweet Cream, and I'm just packing that over where we put the Anastasia primer down, where we cut our crease basically. And then I sprayed that same ColourPop E3 brush with the Fix Plus, and I'm placing the shade Sugar Cookie on the inner third of my eye, and then now I'm taking the shade Cranberry on that same brush with the Fix Plus on it and putting that in the middle to blend out Sugar Cookie into the Cherry Juice we have on the outer corner. I want to create a nice gradient of that light pale pink into that it's literally a cranberry shade into that darker purple. And now I'm taking my finger and putting Sugar Cookie over where cranberry and Sugar Cookie meet to keep that gradient going and blend it out further. Same thing, I'm kind of using going between the brush and my finger, and then I'm building up Cherry Juice again with that same Sigma brush because we took cranberry a little too far out to the outside. Blending again with that ColourPop eyeshadow brush. And now we're going to do a winged liner. And I think I tried to keep myself in frame so that you guys can see it. I do my best. I'm just kind of sketching out the line that I want going up against my lash line, and then on the outer corner just creating that wing. Wings are not something I do if I'm in a hurry. If I do them in a hurry, they end up just being super wonky. Alright, and I'm taking the same cherry juice shade on that same Sigma brush and putting that on my lower lash line. I believe I used the exact same brushes that I did for the, again, same brushes that I used for the top half of my eye for the bottom half. And I blocked my face. I'm a rookie at this. Okay, here are the finished looks. Please ignore the fact that the eyelashes I put on are super wonky. I was feeling lazy and didn't want to fix the one that's on the Natasha Denona side, so it's a little too crazy. Anyways, those were both of the looks that we used with created with the Natasha Denona Safari palette and the Berries and Cream Dominique Cosmetics palette. Which one do you guys like better? I am pretty sure I like the Safari palette better, so that's the one that I picked to be the winner for this round. And here is now an updated bracket with Safari as our winner. So that concludes round 2. So now in the semi-final rounds, we will have the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Jackie Aina palette against the Moonspell palette, and then the Safari palette from Natasha Denona against the Norvina Volume 1 palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So those are the 4 palettes that made it into the semifinals. Who do you guys want to win? Do you have a favorite palette of those 4 palettes? Let me know down below. If you haven't already, please remember to like this video, subscribe if you have not, and that's it. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!